Look at you.
But I do think that's wrong to write comedy material.
I think you're on steroids.
For these.
That's what I think. I see evidence of that.
No.
So you're telling me that do you think you're wasting a vote, though? Because really, a vote for Nader, I know the whole rap about how you're starting a third party, but don't you think a vote for Nader, really, in the real world, is just going to take away a vote from Gore?
But I don't care.
Well, let me ask you a question. You care about abortion? You must, because you're always banging chicks.
Yeah, because you must have had a few.
I mean, what guy... Yeah, you must have had a few girls get abortions.
Poster boy.
And yeah, really. I mean, if anybody should be for abortion...
In fact, I have a letter here to an abortion clinic. I'd like to read it now before you guys get it.
You're responsible for most abortions. No, but in all
It's not really a letter to the clinic. I'm arguing the bill.
No, have you ever knocked up a chick?
You mean gotten someone pregnant?
Yes.
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Look at this.
Wow.
Like 20 years ago.
But you don't have any children?
20 years ago, you had no money. No wonder they didn't have the baby.
But
so
you don't have any children.
Yeah.
So the point is she was able to get an abortion.
Yes.
Now, don't you want to protect that right? Because you know as well as I do, the President of the United States has very little to do with running day-to-day government. It's mostly Congress. And that the President...
Well, he runs it, but Congress passes the law.
But the President is the guy who makes Supreme Court appointments.
Yes, but they also have to be approved.
Yes, they do.
Right.
But for the most part, Gore is saying that litmus test-wise, he is going to appoint someone that will protect a woman's right to choose. Wouldn't you be for that? Just even based on that, if that's the only difference.
Yeah, it's an important issue, but it's not...
That's not how you're voting.
It's not how I'm voting, no.
Really?
And to me, the most important issue is the environment, first of all, and second, campaign finance.
True, Nader would be the strongest candidate, but don't you think between Gore and Bush, and one of those two is going to win? Well, do you think Gore is the stronger candidate when it comes to environment, just based on his book alone, which he did write himself, by the way?
He might not have done all that other stuff he said.
That's right.
But he did write that book.
He wrote it himself.
Exactly. He walks the walk a lot, but he doesn't... he talks, but he doesn't walk
it. Well, Clinton, when he chose Gore... as his vice president, Gore did get Bill Clinton to make certain promises to him about the environment, which is noble.
Yeah,
you have to say it's noble.
I don't know if those promises were kept.
A lot of them weren't, but he at least...
What did he do?
He's the vice president. Now that he'll be president, perhaps he can keep those.
Well, he had a perfect opportunity in that debate the other night. Bush said something ridiculous like, why should the U.S. take the lead in cleaning up the world's air?
Well,
because we caused most of the problem with it.
And also, why not? Why not just
Well, because we're 5% of the world's population and we cause 25% of the pollution. I think there's a good reason right there. So also, I'd like to live.
And who else is going to do it? Idiot.
But don't you think Gore?
But Gore didn't jump in and say we should. Gore doesn't support his own book. I'm the one who's supporting Gore's book. Gore says in his book, I say it all the time on this show, Gore's book says we should phase out the internal combustion engine in 25 years.
That's right.
Which is what, of course, we should do. But, you get that in the hands of an attack artist like Bush, and it's like, oh, he's against cars, which are right next to churches in America.
I would drive an electric car, and if it meant I could only go 60 miles an hour, that's more than enough speed for me.
Well, if we put our minds to it, in 25 years,
Not my mind.
if we made it a national drive to, in 25 years, find a different way to get to work, I'm sure we could do it.
That's what Ralph Nader was saying.
Yes.
That's what Ralph Nader was saying. So you are going to waste a vote on Ralph Nader?
I don't think it's wasting a vote. I think we have to break this monopoly of these two parties, which aren't even two parties. They're identical cousins played by Patty Duke. That's what we have.
You do notice there's one thing they keep saying. There is a difference between us, which means there's really not a difference between us.
Exactly, because they both say that.
Yeah, they have to scream it so maybe someone will notice. So you are all fired up. You will continue to pump up your body. You will... Oh, wait, let me get back to this story.
You're really getting politically incorrect.
People are going to love this story. So Bill Clinton, tell me if this is true, because this is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were at a Bill Clinton fundraiser, not fundraising, but you were introducing the president.
They asked me to introduce the president.
Why did you agree?
Because I personally am a huge fan of his. I think he did a great job.
I agree.
And I wanted to have this opportunity. It was probably the last time I was going to get to talk to him.
I agree with you that Clinton is a great president, and if Bill Clinton could run this time, he would win in a landslide. And you know it, and everyone knows that's true. Go ahead.
Howard, you remember the story you were talking to Bill about that, letter that he wrote to the woman?
Yeah.
Well, it happens to be my brother-in-law's, fiance.
Really?
So they're on the phone. They have the letter on.
Do you want to hear your love letter read on the air?
No.
You don't?
And they can read the letter.
No. Come on, let's hear it.
You know why?
That would be really mean, Howard.
No, would it? I'll tell you what's mean, Howard.
Excuse me. is this a democracy? Can we vote?
Yes.
Can we vote? Well, you don't have to lose the vote.
Howard, I'm a little angry at Bill because
I'll take my shirt off.
after this,
Why are you angry at Bill?
After this woman
I got to hear your love letter.
received this letter from Bill, she wrote back to him as a joke saying, "Oh, now I'm going to show it to the senior producer," and then Bill got really angry at her and scolded her.
Well, I don't blame him.
This never happened.
Then when they brought back the
Who are you?
That's
Accusing me.
Then when they
person
All right,
walks
put him on the
into a
phone.
room
Put him
and
on the phone
accuses
then.
me.
Let him read the letter and let's see if it's you. Because I know it's you.
How do you know it's him?
Because this woman is my future sister-in-law.
So
She's not
what? She
lying.
could be a liar.
No, she's not. She works.
That's not fair to
She worked
Right.
with
That's not fair to
Bill.
Bill.
She worked with Bill, and guess what? When they brought back all the employees, for the show, they brought back everybody but her.
She got fired.
Yeah, she didn't get the job.
Please, that
You
is.
deny
You know
that?
what?
She didn't get fired, but
Oh, my goodness,
when they brought
it's
back
screaming.
people,
you can.
Bill,
You can
when you
like-
moved to ABC, she didn't get rehired. A lot of
I
other
don't
people
even know
did.
who this is.
Maybe she's
Okay.
not that good an employee.
She's hot.
Okay.
She's hot. She's a hot girl.
Yeah.
And we have the letter, Bill. It's definitely your letter.
But I never ever.
Go ahead.
Let me make this clear. I
Go
never
ahead.
fired anyone.
No, I didn't say you fired her.
Or if
I didn't
What?
say you fired her. I said she wasn't brought
didn't
back.
you just say that?
No, I said she wasn't brought back when the show was brought to ABC.
She wasn't brought over.
Yeah, she wasn't
Well, I
brought
can't
over.
imagine who this could be.
Okay, well,
'Cause that
Would
was-
you like to meet her?
no, I'll tell you.
Let's hear her on the phone.
She's a little nervous being on the phone, but my brother was there. Doug.
No. How do you know
Wait a
that
minute,
making it
how
up?
much power does he wield? Could he just keep her out of
You
show
wouldn't
business?
do that. I don't
She's
expect he's
very-
that kind of
No,
guy.
I've never
very
in my
worried.
life
Let me ask you a
used
question.
power.
If a
or
girl turned you down sexually, would that affect her job?
I would not hit on someone in that position.
Really?
Oh.
Interesting. So maybe this is a fake.
Well, I don't know
Let's
what it is.
expose her.
The letter's real, Howard. I mean,
Let me hear the letter,
Poor
please.
Bill.
And will you just tell me if you think this is you who wrote it? Would you give me that satisfaction?
No.
You will not.
No, I'm not gonna.
You know what, Howard? Read one
now
sentence.
he's
You were
a
just talking about
politician.
Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton. I think we agree. I was
Yes.
gleaning from what you were saying about him. You thought he was a great president.
Yes.
It was a long time ago, Bill. It's not like it just happened, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean,
I want to hear the
Well,
letter.
I'm not worried
It was
about
a long time ago. It
Well,
happened.
well, let me hear the letter. Let me hear the letter,
Read
please.
one sentence.
Let me hear
Wait a
it.
minute. What was he about to say? Because he had some kind of.
All right,
What
go
I was
ahead.
about to say was Bill Clinton's only mistake with
Yes.
that is that instead of saying, I never had sex, he should have said, it's none of your damn business.
Yes, and that's what George Bush
Wait,
does
you're
about
not a
cocaine.
politician. What do you
Exactly.
care?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
And that's the one thing I admire about George Bush.
You're a
is that
comedian.
he
This is
says-
funny, though, Bill.
There's nothing funny about that.
No, I mean, to hear this letter. Come on. It's really funny.
I want to hear
How
the
long
letter.
the letter is?
No, I'm
I think
not.
it's 2 pages long.
Pages you wrote this girl?
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what letter.
Hold on,
I
let me get to the
another
bottom
letter
of it.
I
Let me
knew.
get to the bottom of it.
John,
Hold
that's
on.
politically incorrect.
Hello? Hello? Who is this the broad? I mean,
The
girl?
broad in question?
This is a broad.
Broad. Hello?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, honey.
Oh, you're a
This is
guy.
Doug. This is my brother-in-law, and she's with him.
Now, who is she? She's his wife?
She is his future wife.
Oh,
And
really?
she's with him now. They have the letter in their hands.
Honey, admit you were in love with Bill Maher.
You wrote your own letter.
Are you in love with Bill Maher?
Doug is.
She's too shy to talk.
Now, let me hear some of the letter. Let me hear some
No,
of the
I'm
letter.
here.
Oh, there you
There
are.
she is.
I'm here.
All right, you're saying that Bill hit on you and then they had you fired?
No, that is
Oh.
not the story.
I didn't say she was fired.
Well, let me hear what she has to say.
What kind of a person, if this is true, could live with themselves after doing this?
Yeah, why would you say Bill's letter?
Why would you read it to Howard
I
Stern?
saved the letter. I never, ever showed anyone. It was a letter that he wrote me, and that was it. I'd never wanted to come on the show and talk about it. I'm not going to say anything about the letter. But I will. No, you won't. No, you won't.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, Howard.
Who
I got
are
it
you?
in my hand.
What?
It's a 2-page. And Bill, I love you. I think you're great. But this letter, don't ever deny this letter.
Right,
I don't know. I'd like.
Let me hear the letter. I'll know if he wrote it.
No, Doug. Listen,
We've got a whole
you'll
thing going on.
ruin my engagement.
All right. Well,
And I wouldn't do that to Bill.
I'd love to hear one of Bill's letters.
Doug, just read the first line.
It's the second paragraph, third
still don't know
paragraph.
who this is.
It's unbelievable.
Doug, read it.
And I read it too. She showed it to me, and I'm like, God
See, why
damn,
you
this
can't-
guy is
this is
smart. He poured his heart and soul into a love letter like I've never seen before.
You read
Bill, you don't need to do
letter.
that.
You can't say all that and not read it.
Who is this? When was this?
It was about 5
All right,
years
let me
ago.
hear some of this
Write
letter.
a damn good letter.
All right, give me one line from the letter so Bill can identify.
He writes, "You are so goddamn hot. I walk around the office all day,
Mhm.
just want that kind of stuff."
Really?
That's.
I want to see. Never mind the letter. I want to see her.
Bill, I'm telling you, she wouldn't like. She's a very good girl. She's not lying.
I'll go out and buy a fax machine right now, but
this is like when George Bush says, "You can't question my integrity." Why would I?
No,
Honey, you're that hot?
She's very hot. She's beautiful.
He's got good taste.
All right.
Just to tell you what this whole thing's about, Howard, John has known this for 5 years, and this woman really didn't want to do this, and John's been working her for 5 years.
Is that right?
I've seen her. She's really,
parties,
really attractive.
Really?
I mean,
So you couldn't get her?
I don't know who we're talking about.
Well, I don't think she wants a name mentioned. Is that true?
Forget it.
Wait a minute, I got to ask one thing.
We all got
The
questions.
girl's working around the office.
Go ahead.
How does this letter come to her?
Underneath the door.
Really?
No,
Really?
I didn't have an office. I don't really remember. It was
Is that how you hit on chicks? Because I have to get into
placed
this.
on my desk.
It was just left on your desk.
And then
So you're crazy doing that.
hold on.
You don't.
Really?
Hold on, Doug.
It was a long time ago.
Doug, and then didn't she she wrote back saying that she's going to show it to somebody, and then he got all mad at her, right?
It was a joke. I was flattered. I was shocked, and I just wrote back something, kidding around, just stating that I was going to send a letter to, the writers department and just say, hey, circulate this through the office kind of thing. And
Some
anyway,
joke.
I think he got really mad at me, but I was very young at the time. I was right out of college.
And
my
Bill
first job,
wasn't famous.
my first job in TV, and I took the letter and I responded that way, and he asked me for the letter back, and he didn't talk to me after that. He was really mad at me.
Wow,
and,
you got some
I
love
was
life.
only kidding around, and it was no
I wish I had
big deal.
half the problems you
Oh,
did.
that's so funny.
Bill is speechless.
I am.
But it was
All right, honey.
it was a good letter.
But Bill, this could not be true, right? Also, you don't remember this.
I don't remember it, but I'm not saying it's not true.
true.
I'm
Let's
not.
get back to that internal combustion engine.
All right, honey. Thank you very much for the call.
Okay,
All right,
thank
bye.
you.
You're great. You're a great humanitarian. All right. Anyway, so you cannot write letters to chicks. Listen to me. Nothing in writing.
Well, you're right about that.
Yes.
But, first of all, as I say, I don't really know what this is. Second of all, I mean...
You're like the president now.
You
I
are.
don't recall.
Right.
Well, no, that's not what he said.
I think he's thinking what he'd do to John
Well,
if you had him
some
alone.
He said fellatio is not sex.
No, I'm talking... President
Look,
Reagan never recalled anything.
Oh.
Oh, now we're into Reagan territory.
Right. All right. Get back to the